Hello everyone, I'm going to quickly go over how to do a pattern text project, which is our second assignment for this year. It's a super quick, easy project. As you can see over here, there's just 2 layers and there's only a couple steps. But there are a couple of really important steps that will teach us a couple things that we need to know for this year. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to undo my history so you can see how I kind of managed from the beginning all the way to the end. Okay? So the first thing that you need to do, and I'm going to actually get rid of these 2 things real quick because I don't need to see them yet. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the toolbar on your left-hand side. You're going to wind up seeing an A for the first time you open Affinity, but as you change things around, it kind of saves what your last selection was. So I'm going to switch it to from the Artistic Text Tool to now the Frame Text Tool, so that should have a T instead of an A. I'm going to select from the top left all the way down to the bottom right, and that's going to bring in my text. Your font should be listed across here in the context toolbar. Basically, you want to pick a font for this one that's nice and big. You want thicker letters, so this way it comes up. Impact, a lot of people use this one right here, which I don't know how to pronounce at all. You're going to want to use something along those lines. You can use like fancier ones, but the problem is they get a little too thin, and then you can't see the background. This phosphate one is pretty cool. I don't know if that's on your computers. It may have been one of the ones that I downloaded special for like a poster that I made in previous years. So I'm going to type my last name just because I know it's nice even. I could do, since my first name is Adam, I'll do Adam Anderson this way, or you can just do Anderson, or just your first name, just your last name. If it's too short, do your last name. If your last name's short as well, do both, or do both regardless. It doesn't matter. But you want your project to fill up the majority of the screen. So I'm going to grab this little button up at the top right here, and I'm going to lower my letters down because I want them to be nice and centered. Now this is this is pretty much even all the way, but say the distance, this is where, if I didn't like the distance between these letters, I'm going to change one setting, and it's going to bring those words together. So I actually kind of want not only those letters to be closer, I want them almost like on top of each other. That's kind of just the design I want to create for myself. The other thing is that you want to make sure that your letters are centered, so I selected the center, just like you would in a Word document. So now I'm going to hit character and paragraph. They should open up in 2 of their own individuals. You want character on the left, and then you want to bring this over to the left-hand side over here. I'm going to try to sneak it in there. Sometimes it fights you, and there we go. So now it's up at the top. You can move them around any place you want later on, but just for today's lesson, I'm just going to put it up there. Now, what you're going to want to do is, if you want the letters tighter together with no spacing, you want to change this last drop-down box right here. Generally, since I have 72 font, it would give you 72 between. But I want them closer, so I'm going to do it in the last one before they touch. I'm going to do 48. If you really wanted to, you can just type in a number. So I'm just going to type 40 just to make it easier. And see how that got closer? They're still not touching, so I kind of actually like that the best, so I'm going to go with that. Now we have 3 more steps. Next is to download an image. I've been telling everyone that my son has been into bubbles lately. He's just been, it's one of the words that he learned because he's only 2, so he's learning a lot of new words. So he's been saying bubble a lot, so I downloaded Bubble. So I'm going to go up to File, Place, and then I'm going to place that bubble image into here. You're going to notice that it's going to give you this option where it has a little drop down with a blue circle underneath. You're going to want to pick the center of your image and then drop that image in. My image is way too big for this project, so I'm going to hold off to the side. I'm just going to keep grabbing this corner and shrink it. Make sure you're on the cursor before you try this, the move tool, otherwise it's not going to work great. Once I get it too small, I'm going to make it just big enough just to cover all my letters, and then I'm going to hit enter or return, and it's going to kind of like put it in its place. Okay. Now over here is my layers panel. You want to make sure the layers is nice and easily accessible. If you lost it, go up to View, Show, and then make sure the layers is checked, and then you just got to find it. Now is the final and last step. You're going to grab the bubbles layer, and you're going to pull it underneath your text. But see how if I just hold it there for a second, it does move it, but that only moved that image below the letters. I'm going to pull this slightly over to the right and watch what happens once it lets me. Basically, this is called a layer mask. It combined these two images together where this here was the shape that was created, and then since it's pulled under, basically this image is showing through those shapes. And that is pretty much it. You're going to go up to File, save it as the correct name for the project, and then after you save a name for the project, you're going to go up to File and export it, load it into the classroom assignment on Google, and you are done.